So, I'm just going to repeat myself. So we just want to go through each step. I'm not going to give her a full raindrop. I just want to show you each step just to remind you. And if you've got any questions along the way, let me know. So what we want to be doing is dropping the oil into our right hand. I know that there's not much left in here. I'm just going to use 3 drops because Helen and Valor, I'm just, you know, they're only gently friends. And then we're wanting to, remembering that the big toe's the 12, and we're going to rub it on 3 times clockwise. And just be gentle when you do it, you know what I mean? People really feel the softness in, how you do that? Beautiful. Thank you. People really feel the softness in your touch, as opposed to, you know, we don't need to be rushing. It's just that gentle, just inviting them to relax. It's okay, I'm touching your feet. People get funny about your feet being touched. So you guys had great positioning with your backs yesterday. I noticed you were taking care of yourselves really good. That's awesome. Remember, we want to see good palm contact here. Don't pull the feet in. Don't squeeze too tight. Just allow your hands to relax when you're holding them. And remember, a great Valor balance is where they can't tell where their feet end and your hands start. Okay, that's the kind of connection that you're aiming for. All right, so from that, what oil can you have, love? Cedarwood? Yep. It's got an orange tag on it. It's on the bottom right. Yep, there. Thank you. So I love what you were doing, Joe, just letting your leg rest there, but you can use your hand, whatever's more comfortable for you, okay? So don't drop too high, because you want the benefit as well.
Yeah.
So
I know about the atmospheric interference this time.
Yeah. I'm just going to use 2 drops. So what I want to see is fingers here. Now I love that you've got this whole thing. That's your flow, that's your style, that's okay. But it's the majority of the oil, we want it to be on the pads of the fingers, okay? And then finding that line on the foot. Your stance was great, so you know, remembering your posture, your heart-to-heart connection, and then just that line running through. You were a little bit angular, you relaxed into it beautifully yesterday. Now the other thing is, remember when we're doing our VitaFlex rolls, we want between 18 and 30, no more than 30. And you want to come up off the toe. So what I mean when I say that is, we actually want to VitaFlex all the way to the end of the toe. We can get a bit pinchy like this and not actually get the roll in. And you'll know because your wrist is opening really wide, okay? And then just pick it up again. Can't feel my nails, can you? That's good. And it's okay to adjust your stance because people have weird shaped feet, right? The angle of their feet points differently. So if you have to adjust as you're going along, that's totally fine. They're not going to necessarily notice anyway. And then after you've done your 3rd run, what you can do with the excess oil is just wipe it off.
That's a nice idea.
But use the same pressure. So don't go like this.
Yeah.
Just one gentle, and you can come up the inside of the arch over where you've been VitaFlexing it too if you want to. I like to actually even it out and have it on the other side. There's no right or wrong with that, but it's totally fine to wipe that excess oil off. Now I am going to do the other side because I don't want her to have just one foot VitaFlexed. And again, just those 3 fingers picking it up. You can see the wetness on the pads of my fingers. And just watch your hands not too high. You want to actually rest your hand down. Otherwise, we end up with this spider dancing. You get a good roll there,
Yeah.
but you lose the connection. It becomes this mechanical thing that you do. Whereas at a practitioner level, you want to be resting the heel of your hand down, and it becomes like a gentle squeeze and roll that we do. And as you get to the ball of the foot and that big toe, you will have to move your fingers away. So here is where what we call spider dancing comes into play, because you can't help it because of the shape of the toe. Okay, but as far as the arch and the base of the foot, we can create that nice relaxed connection. It's how we keep our arms soft as well. Any questions about that? No? Good. I'm not actually counting, so, but it is good to count.
Does it matter? Like I tend to count the main bit of the foot, but then the rest I don't. So I know if I do at least 20 on the foot, then it doesn't matter with the type, you know, like. But does it matter if it doesn't work out exactly even?
No, no.
Is it going to disrupt the? Okay.
No, sometimes I do 23 on one foot and 26 on the other. It just depends.
Why no more than 30? Like if you've got a big guy with...
Scotty actually requires the full 30 because his feet, he wears a size 16 triple E shoe, so his feet are about that big.
Yeah, wow.
And so you actually move along quite quickly.
Why no more than 30?
I don't know. It was just what Gary said.
I guess it's the power.
I think it, yes, could be. And it could be relevant to, I could ask Artemis, but it could be relevant to the amount of times we're pulsing.
Yeah.
You know, because we're using 4 fingers. Vitaflex was traditionally taught with 1 finger.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So Stanley Burrows taught that you only use 4. Gary was the person who Stanley taught only 1 finger. Gary was the person who integrated 4. Because Stanley Burrows, who created Vitaflex technique, he taught Gary Young Vitaflex.
Yes.
So this is how it's become part of Young Living's teachings and Gary's teachings. All right, so remembering when we're rolling for modesty, remember we've got our T shape, so one towel going that way and the other going this way. And like Helen showed you yesterday, if you're just leaning on the edge of this towel, it won't tangle up with them.
Yeah.
And one leg on the end of this towel. And then I'll get you to turn this shoulder that way for me.
Turn this shoulder that way, okay.
And you're ready.
That's good.
Oh, I lost it, because I wasn't leaning hard enough. But she still managed to keep it there, and that's why the importance of bath sheets. And you guys had a couple of bigger ladies yesterday, so you noticed the importance of not just having towels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're both into bath sheets anyway. We're using bath sheets.
My bath sheets.
Well, these come from Target. They're 100% Egyptian cotton, and I'm pretty sure when they're not on sale, they're about $24 a towel. So it's not an overly expensive towel. My original ones were Sheridan, but I'm not real happy with the quality of Sheridan of late. And these are 2 meters 5 centimeters, and the grey towels are 2 meters 10 centimeters. It's just ideal. If you're working in a massage environment and you're working with tables, the bigger the table, the bigger the towel, the better. May I tuck this into you? Thank you. So.
Are you recording?
Yeah. Oh. Can I have that cedar wood back, please, Jade?
Cedar wood?
Yeah. Sorry. That's all right. So remembering, some oils are dripped directly along the spine.
Yes.
Some are the basil is either side of the spine. Marjoram's are all over the back. Now, when you have someone like you did yesterday who's a level 2 and you're only putting 3 drops, it makes it hard, okay? So I would be sort of going 1, 2, 3,
right.
or, you know, create that triangle shape somewhere in the body, because it's about these muscles. Marjoram is one of the oils, the only oil that you can have a little bit extra on to create that slip.
Yeah.
However, like you said, you can put a little bit of V6 on your hands, just so that you've got a bit more slip there. But don't coat them with it, because we don't want to slow down their modification level any more than we already have pulled back for
So So
a
how do you do
reason.
that? Just duck on the table, do a pump and then stick it back up? Without losing
I
contact
actually,
Oh, because you've got it in your belt, haven't you?
I'll show you this. So firm and fold sell these, and this is a separate one.
That's what it's telling me about.
Oh, okay.
So I can actually have that to the side
Yeah.
with my little bottle,
Yeah.
and then it's just
Yeah,
literally,
beautiful.
you pump it once into your hand, rub your hands together, and you're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah. And even when I'm doing hot stone, you might keep your blend that handy, so you can just
Okay.
coat them up as you need to. We're going to do hot stone with you guys with hemp oil though, so you won't need to coat too much because it's really
And so
nice.
when I order that, I know what I'm talking about. An oil pouch or something.
Yeah, just bottle holder.
Bottle holder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So in this case, we're going to pretend this is oregano, and we're going to give Helen 3 drops, providing the cedarwood comes out.
It's hard to see in the light too. That's why I was doing it high, which I shouldn't have done. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
So see, I caught you guys wiping away the extra drop when it came out yesterday. That's what we want to see, because it means you're still following your safety modification if an extra drop spills. So your feathering look beautiful, just watching not on your knuckles. I want you to come back up onto the fingertips, okay? And in the 6-inch sections or 4 sections. I hate it when I talk because I forget what number I'm up to. And coming up to the neck was really nice because remember the largest nerve receptors are around the neck, and what we're actually doing is waking up those nerve receptors. And then you're fanning, coming to the midline of the body. You guys did that really well yesterday. And it's 3 fans in each of the 4 sections again.
Oh, so you start your fan from the base and work up. Okay. I've just been going straight from the middle.
Well, we want to draw the energy and the chi up, yeah? And I come right across the shoulders, and then from this one I come up off the shoulder, but I just like to include the neck with the fingertip.
Yeah.
Just so that it feels not left out,
Yeah.
you know?
That's nice.
My pinky does not like to stay engaged. Coolio. Basil circles. I'm going to put them back to the camera, which is kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. So you guys can come this side. So you guys had nice wide stance. Your heels of your hands are engaged good. So remembering that we want to start here and then just sliding one hand's width up. Checking pressure. Is that okay, Dale? And remember that we're pulling that muscle away from the spine, and that's what releases that inflammation out. And use both hands and come all the way to the occiput. And then change sides.
That smells delicious, that cedarwood, doesn't it?
And as the body gives, so on the first one you'll find that you won't be able to pull as deep, but the body starts to give, and then suddenly you're actually gripping their muscle. It's a nice thing to watch. And you can see how much pressure I'm putting on her because I'm leaving like white marks. So it's not super hard, but it's firm. So again, you do that 3 times. Then this is the tricky one. You've got to work out how to bring the fingers out, okay? You want the hand to be flat, no pressure on the spine, but fairly flat. You're using, this hand has got to stay upright. This is where the pressure's coming from.
So the whole hand can sort of.
Yeah, I'm tucking one under.
Yeah, you don't need to have your fingers tucked up like that. If you tuck your fingers up, you're more likely to poke her like that.
Yeah.
And this is a dragging sort of motion where we're rocking and dragging along. The idea is that we're rocking every single vertebrae as we move up the spine, okay? So this hand has to stay vertical in order to create that pressure for you.
And all the other fingers are on top, we're touching as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you just want a little bit of pressure either side of the spine because that's where you can feel the muscles and that's how you'll know you'll stay off the spine too.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is also part of Vitaflex. And you want that nice buttock wobble. Now, as we talked about yesterday with Darcy, he was really muscular and lean, and so was Kat. So it's harder to get a wobble on someone who has hardly any body fat whatsoever or is extremely fit, muscle-wise. So when her wobble stops, notice that my consistency at the speed has not changed. My movement is still the same, all the way into the neck. I stop in the hairline because I don't want to pull their hair. So I stop just below it so that the pads of my 2 fingers aren't on her hair, it's on her skin. And then I stretch the neck from there and hold for 3, 2,
Does your pressure change on your neck from what it was on the back?
Does the pressure change? Did you feel the pressure change? I didn't, no. Not intentionally, no. All right, any questions about that one?
Do you want to do it again? Just
Sure.
is that okay?
I'm sure Helen won't mind. So it's this arm that's creating the action. And you can see the marks that I'm leaving on her from the pressure I'm applying. 1, 2, 3, release. 1, 2, 3, release. 1, 2, 3, release. All right. And so we do obviously that 3 times. Then we've got cool width. Wintergreen is the thumb rolls. So fingers have got to stay engaged with the body. Wrists want to be up. You want your thumbs offset, okay, so that we're actually placing our thumbs on those erector spinae muscles where we did our basal circles. That's kind of where your placement of your pads of your thumbs are. You come up and you're firing right in between the muscle and the spine, okay? And then you're switching off over the back of the spine.
This one I find most challenging.
Do it as slow as you need to get the roll right, because it feels amazing. It really does. And having good pressure there, that's where you went a little bit light because you're nervous about it. Yeah. The other thing too is when we're working on a person's body, if we've got pain or injury in our body, we will tend to be softer or firmer depending on what we feel we need. And this speed comes with this over time.
So you can do it that fast?
Yep. And all the way into the hairline. And then I'll just do it a little bit faster.
Oh, so that's how fast you do it. Shivers. How many years were you doing this?
I can't do it fast.
About 5, 4, 3, I don't know. 4 years. So 3 times, but that was twice, but 3 times. But you can see now where I've been firing. All right, now there's no nails there because I don't have any thumbnails, they're the ones I chew. But that's what that does, that's gonna...
So the wrist is what's got to be up.
It's got to be up.
Is the wrist, okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, what will happen is your hands come down and you're rolling like this.
Yeah.
You're losing 90% of the effectiveness of the roll.
Okay.
Marjoram circles, I'll just do from this side just for the perspective of the camera, but start down on the side of the body with the heels of the hands. We don't want to go over the spine. We're staying to the one side. Always clockwise. 3 circles in each of those sections that we worked for.
Each section.
Yep.
Okay. The top one gets me.
So here's my 4th section. I'm following it around the scapula and I'm just slowing it down here because I want a bit of pressure in here because this is where people carry their tension. But then I don't want to leave the neck out, so I just do 3 little circles in there as well.
So in the 4th section, it's all about the scapula.
So the 4th section is actually all about your scapula.
Yeah.
And then you come up to just include the neck as well. And I have seen Artemis when we did our level 2, if people were struggling with that, she was okay with that movement, but I like, personally, I like it when someone pulls that trapezius muscle away, because some people have a lot of fat around their neck.
Joe is really good at that.
Yeah.
The moment you do that, they stretch out for you.
Yeah, that's right, because the body's like, please. Yeah, so, all right, so marjoram circles, you feeling good about that? Indian rub. Our Indian rub. Really push and pull. Can you see the way I'm moving her skin? We want to see this kind of S shape happening here.
Yeah.
If it's too light, it's a fascia kind of rub, more so than an effleurage rub.
Yeah.
And the body really responds well to it. That was actually responding very well, considering we've got no oil on you.
Oh, it is. It's hard with the oil.
It is.
It's lovely.
And come all the way over the top of the shoulder, you know.
Yeah.
Gentle wringing of the neck. Don't work on someone you're cranky with, because you might actually wring their neck. No, just joking. And can you see the way I'm engaging my forearms?
Yeah, that's okay.
Like and no, we're not surfboarding. I'm hugging her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now on a bigger breasted woman, you might kind of get to this point here and lift your fingers a little, but my forearm's still engaged.
Yeah.
I'm still engaging as much as I can of my hands and my arms. So it's not just a hand movement.
Yeah.
We're reaching right across the body in that push and pull movement. Haven't missed anything, have we? Basal circles, good. Gratitude circles. Now, remembering that this is a step that Gary didn't teach. Artemis just thought it would be nice to rub all the Valor oil in.
Yeah.
So it's just 3 big circles where you're just holding and quietly saying thank you to the person. You don't have to say it out loud. But it's a privilege to work on someone, you know. This is an incredibly vulnerable state for a person to place themselves on your table, especially if you've never met them, and especially if they've never had a raindrop. They don't know what they're getting. And they're going to get off the table and go, oh my goodness, that was different.
Yeah.
And some people love it and some people don't. And that's okay either way. But try not to advertise this as a massage, because people will be disappointed, because it's not a massage. We have massage components, but this is more about Vitaflex. This is more about moving chi, moving energy with the feathering. Like the traditions involved in this master technique that Gary's created complement each other for the body to facilitate its own healing.
And so the feathering is always goosebump light.
Yes.
Even if they want it harder.
Yeah, no. Unless they're incredibly ticklish, but keep your knuckles away. You want to be where your skin and your fingernail join. Yeah, that's the point that you want to be feathering along.
Okay.
You guys have really good feathering, you know, and you slow right down for it, like the attentiveness. I want to see that in your Vitaflex.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's where your connection is. And I'm like, can we bring that down to the feet as well? Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I think that just about covers it. I'll just press stop.